Lovely people, I welcome you to the Rate Academy Visual Basic for Application Training, and this is our lesson 1. And in this lesson we are going to do 4 simple things. The first thing, we need to know the meaning of VBA. Then the second thing we are going to do is the uses of VBA as a language. Then we will also tackle the setup, how to set up your Excel to use the VBA, or your Office program to use the VBA. Then we talk about the interface of the VBA editor. Okay, so let's start. Now, what is VBA? VBA is a programming language, and the full meaning of VBA stands for Visual Basic for Application, and is a event-driven programming language from Microsoft. It was developed by Microsoft and is mainly used on Microsoft Office applications such as Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Access, and others. Okay. So VBA is a programming language, and it is part of the languages that Microsoft developed. Microsoft also have another language called Visual Basic.net, and be part of the .NET framework. So it's also part of their programming languages. But this special programming language is used in Excel. It's also used in Word. Also used in Access, Microsoft Access, for adding VBA to Excel or Microsoft Office applications. The reason is that there are some activities that you need to repeat it throughout your system or your software. So with the help of VBA helps you to repeat an action or an event whilst using Excel programming language, or using Excel. So for instance, if you have selected a cell, you want an action in a cell to repeat itself in other cells. VBA can help you with that. But if without VBA, you see that you need to come to the Excel sheet, then you copy and paste to other cells. Maybe if the cells are over 100, you need to copy and paste them. You copy and paste that content to different cells, about 100 different cells. So that will be a tedious job. But with the help of VBA can help you to, with the click of a button, can help you to accomplish that task within seconds. That is the work of VBA. So VBA is so powerful, and VBA it works just like other programming language like Python, Java, JavaScript, C, and other programming languages. We use it to develop applications. You can use it to develop games. You can use it to develop web browsers. You can use it to develop database, other softwares. So powerful softwares which you can imagine of. So VBA is so powerful. Okay, so before you can use VBA on Excel or on Microsoft Office applications, you need to do some simple setup. You see, when you come to the Excel, we are basically going to use Excel to learn our VBA. So don't worry if you don't open Word or don't talk about Word and Access. But what you do here, if you understand the VBA language here, you can use it on other applications. Now, let's go to the setup. You see, at this section here, we call it the menu bar. With this menu bar, this menu here is mainly used for Excel, Microsoft Excel. But there is one other tab or one other menu that is not part or is not visible when you first install Microsoft Access or when you install Microsoft Office. You don't get that tab, but that's the tab we use to code the VBA language. So this is what we're going. So we're going to do the setup. So first of all, let's go to file. You go to file, then you go to options. You go to options. You search through this version. We are using 2016 version, but in other versions you try to search for option. Then the extra option dialog box will appear. Then you search for customize ribbon. So you click on customize ribbon. Then you first of all search for this side. You search for the word developer. So if your developer is not found here, that means it has been moved to this side. So if it is here, you just click on that developer tab. Then you click on add. You see there's an add button here which is faint. So let me select one. So that it's visible here. So if you click on that developer tab here, it will highlight, or it will make this one deep or highlighted for you, so that you can click and it will be added to this section. But if it's already here, which applies to mine, which mine is also already here, so you just come to this side here, then you tick this box, make sure it is ticked, then you hit on OK. So the moment you hit on OK, you see that the developer tab will be inserted into your ribbons or into your your menu. So that's the setup. Without that, you cannot code in VBA. That is cannot code in VBA. Okay, so now let's go straight to our interface, the VBA interface. So we are going to the developer tab. So there's different ways of entering the developer tab. One, you can use you click on the developer tab, then you go to Visual Basic. So you just click on this to open the VBA editor for you. So this is the VBA editor we are talking about here. So you just click on that and open. So you can also use Alt plus F11 to also open it for you. So Alt plus F11 can also do the job for you. So that when you click on it, it will exit. If I click on it, it will also reappear again. Okay, now let's talk about the interface. Then we end the lesson on the introduction. Okay, so let me view, or let me make some section visible so that we can talk about that. Okay, so we have okay, now with the interface, let's start with this section. The moment you open your developer tab, if you look at the top here, that's the title bar, you will see the title or the name of the workbook that you are working on. So our workbook, the name of our workbook is book 1. So the name is book 1. Then if you come to this side, you come to the VBA, you see that you have the book 1 here. Then after that, you have the menu bar. You have the toolbox here, or the toolbar. So this is the toolbar here. Then you have the project explorer here. So this is the project explorer. At this session, you are going to see the list of sheets that you have created. You see you have created only one sheet. So if you create any other sheets in your Excel, so that the sheets will be appearing there. So we have created additional two sheets. So let's go there and see for ourselves. Okay, so that the other sheet has been added. So this is what the project explorer window. You can close the window, and if you want to view it, you go to view, then you go to project explorer to be back again. Then if you come to this side, you have the property sheet. The property sheet, it is based on the object that you select. One thing you might note here is that VBA is an object programming language, object-oriented programming language. So everything you see here is an object. So the moment you click on it, the sheet is an object, even the workbook is an object. So the moment you click on any object, it will display its properties. here on the property sheet. So now I have selected sheet 1. Use a property for sheet 1 and that is created here. You select sheet 3 so that the name has now changed here. Then this property will be here, so you can make editing to the sheet name and others. Okay, so this is the property. You can also close it, and if you want to view it, you go to view and then go to property, or equally you can click on F4 to open the property dialog property window for you here. Okay, so we have this bar here. This bar here is this side is for the objects, and this side is for the declaration or an event on that object. So if you click on this now, so there's no object on the sheet. We only have the sheet as the object. There's no other object apart from the sheet. So if you click on sheet and you come to this side, you click on the event of the sheet. Let's say you want sheet change. When the sheet change, what should happen? So if you click on that, so that the event will be. So this is the object and this is the event. Okay, so with this one we talk about later, so don't worry if you don't understand why we have this private sub and others here. Okay, so this is the simple interface, but we have one thing called the toolbox. It's very important, so let me try to insert a user form so that the toolbox will appear. Okay, so we have the toolbox here. So this is the toolbox. You have the controls, you have the labels, you have the text boxes, you have the combo boxes, you have the check boxes, the radio buttons, the frames, the buttons, the picture frames, and so many. You can even edit this. You can add more controls to this. So as time goes on, you learn how to add controls to this based on the project you are working on. Good. So I think for now this will be the end of this lesson, and in our next lesson we are going straight to some terms, definition of some terms, so that when we mention the term in our lessons we will not find ourselves wanting. Okay, thank you all, and we shall meet in our next lesson. Bye for now.